What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to see, is the Audi S3 the ultimate enthusiast daily driver? Now my definition of that, of course, is going to be a car that is comfortable and relaxing to drive, is also very economical and affordable to own, easy to maintain and reliable, and of course, most importantly, is something fun. Now if you're like me, really into cars, I've driven so many cars, filmed so many here on YouTube, from the normal brands up to the exotic brands, and I cannot for the life of me own a boring car. I just love cars too much. I love the fun factor of a car way too much to get something basic and boring. So that's why I'm already thinking the S3 has been such a good ultimate daily from my own perspective. So in today's video, we're gonna hop in the S3, talk about all those points, and find out, is this that ultimate daily where you can still have all the fun? Alright, so to start the video with the Audi S3, as far as normal things to it, is this a comfortable, normal car that you can daily drive like any other car? Obviously, yeah, this is honestly a really comfortable and usable car. You know, you get all the power controls on the seats and things like that, even the leg extension, which is cool. Steering wheel moves in all the different directions. It's a pretty normal comfort car to be in, where you have good armrests, you can even move that down and stuff. So it's a normal car to drive to where you can just use it, not even think about what you're doing, and just go. Being an Audi, it has the luxury aspects to it, which I really like. I love driving the European cars particularly over the Asian cars and the American cars as far as normal things. And with a luxury brand, you get some nice aspects like magnetic suspension, adaptive steering, and just a really solid build quality. Even though this is Audi's budget car, this is their baby, you know, the 3 Series from Audi is the smallest thing you get in the USA. So the 3 Series isn't exactly crazy refined, but it is nicer than a Volkswagen Jetta or a Golf. So there are some Audi aspects to this car that are above and beyond other brands like it. And I like how when you're in the S3, you can feel that luxury vibe without being crazy expensive, which leads us, of course, to economical aspects. This car was about $35,000 before taxes and shipping. Obviously, I bought this from California, had it shipped here. But it's a very affordable car on the used market. Anywhere in the $30,000 range, you can find a really good S3, range from 2015 to up to maybe like 2020, and depending on mileage. So it's a pretty affordable car, especially in today's market. Average price of a new car is closer to $45,000, which is pretty insane. So this honestly is a below average price point. Anybody could probably afford a car like this. It's not that hard. And even higher mileage ones are into the 20s. And as far as reliability goes, from what I've seen, they're pretty good. You know, yeah, it might not last just like a Toyota Corolla will, but a Corolla is incredibly boring to drive. I recently filmed one. It's a great cheap car, but I could never own something like that just because there's no fun factor. It's just point A to point B. This car can do the point A to point B. Like I said, I'm in comfortable driving mode right now, soft suspension. You know, we have the screen and everything with your navigation, all that type of fancy things that you get, and it's got enough tech in it to feel like a modern car, even though this is a 2016. We're getting close to a 10-year-old car, quite honestly, at this point. But you get the normal aspects, you get the luxury aspects to it, and you're not really sacrificing economic aspects. It gets over 30 miles per gallon, should be plenty reliable. Honestly, this should hit 100,000 miles without even thinking, and it's a car that you can depend on and drive like normal. Now my favorite thing, of course, like we said, is the fun factor. Now I have a few modifications on this, haven't tuned it just yet, but with an intake and an exhaust, if I open the exhaust valve, put us into dynamic mode and manual mode, the whole car wakes up a little bit, and now we get that 300 horsepower nearly. We get the fun sounds to it. And now the steering is tighter, the suspension is tighter, and it's turned into something that's fun to drive. Now, when we bought this car, we sold my wife's Lexus IS300 in order to buy this. The Lexus was a fine, normal car, but at the end of the day, it's a Toyota Camry underneath, just a basic V6, no real drive modes that do anything. It wasn't a fun car. It was a really good-looking car, certainly reliable and had all the tech, but I want something fun, she wanted something more fun, and the S3, it gives you that. It gives you something that you can rip in the mountains. We took this on a mountain road trip recently, and we had the M340 in front of us and my brother's R8 in front of him. The top end going up really steep mountain hills, this lacked a little bit of the horsepower, but handling wise, this thing is so nimble. The magnetic dampers do a great job in dynamic mode, especially with the H&R springs we have on this car. It's a tight car. The steering is incredible. This is honestly an amazing handling car. And it is fascinating that you can take a car that really is a Toyota Corolla in the sense of point A to point B driving. It can do all that. But then it's fun. Oh man, I love the well-roundedness the S3 has to offer, and I think if you're looking for just that ultimate daily, something that can do it all, the S3 is really one of those cars. I recently made a video comparing this to the WRX STI, and while that's similar price points, similar practicality aspects, it's a pretty raw car to drive. It does have more fun factor than this just because with the manual, the more sport vibe to it, but it cannot tone down just like this car. So I like with the Audi, you get such a refined aspect to it. It can tone down in comfort mode and automatic and just be normal, good gas mileage, a comfortable luxury car. But then in dynamic mode, it really does ramp up the fun factor quite a lot to where you can have a precise amount of fun. Because this car being the Audi, you got that engineering to it to where turns and everything are so precise with it. It's a very precision built type of car, and when you're having fun in it, it does everything very well. It takes the turns with ease, the suspension is solid, the steering is insane, and even in the stock tuning, the turbo power, it is a good peppy car. You'll hit 100 in it pretty easily. It's not that hard to hit in this car. For a 4-cylinder, you know, you wouldn't expect that. But I just love how there is that fun factor to it. And when I'm driving this, I like how I can put it into comfort mode and just relaxingly drive. Just literally, it's so comfortable and just normal to be in. But I like to have fun, so with the few models we have on it, you know, open the exhaust up, get that extra sound, dynamic mode, the whole car wakes up, and you get the tech, you know, the cool sunroof and stuff like that. But another cool thing, this does feature launch control, and this is a quick little car. It is just, honestly, it's so much fun. Oh, like seriously, how many cars for 35 grand can you get that actually are quick in a straight line, nimble, they have luxury aspects, but they also have the economy car aspects and none of the downfalls of an economy car. And again, you know, it all depends on what you want in your car. If you want a Corolla, go for it. Bulletproof, reliable, insanely cheap, you'll never have an issue with it. But if you want something that is fun to drive, this really takes it up a notch to where you can just pull into traffic. I mean, you can rip on this car all day long, and it is really responsive. With the Quattro all-wheel drive system, of course, this car can do what you need to do and go places where you need to go. If you put a performance set of all seasons on it, this car can go anywhere. And we bought this, part of the reasoning is we're going to be taking this to Michigan several times a year to visit her family. That's a 1,600 mile trip, and honestly, we've already done that once in this car, and it's no big deal. In comfort mode, you know, the nav does work very nicely. You can have turn-by-turn up on the center, but it can do that type of long-haul trip comfortably with enough tech to do it without really stressing too much. And with the tires like this, you know, we can take it when it's snowing, we'll be able to take it in the snow, and it won't be an issue. So I just really like how the S3, it kind of hits every aspect. It has everything you need to just be a fun, well-rounded car. Only downfalls, I would say, it is a small car. When you compare this to a Toyota Camry or something like that, even a Honda Civic, this is basically that size. It's a compact sedan. It is certainly nothing too crazy roomy. I'm nearly 6 feet tall with shoes on, and sitting in here, I do have plenty of room. I have plenty of headroom, arm room, leg room, everything like that. You just feel that the dash is pretty close and the sides of the car are not that far apart from each other. So it is a smaller car. The back seats, we did have 3 people in it briefly, and you can fit full-grown adults in the back. It is just definitely a cramped car for that. So if you're buying this for a family enthusiast daily driver car, this might not be the best option. In the future, of course, we'll have something bigger when that time comes. So this isn't exactly the family car, but if you are just 2 people, maybe 1 kid, it probably wouldn't be the worst. But at least just 2 people at the moment, this is definitely a good, well-rounded car to where we have the practicality. Personally, I've never actually owned a sedan. I've only ever had 2-door cars, and my wife has only ever had sedans. So she likes this layout of a car. It's what she likes. Her first car was a Corolla, then she had the Lexus, and she did have an A3 for a year while she owned the Lexus as her winter car where she lived. So for her, this was kind of the perfect car. This is what she's used to. And the fact that this one car takes what I like and what she likes into one, it's obviously the perfect car for us. It has the easy to drive aspects, the luxury aspects, and the sedan practicality that she really likes growing up with sedans, but it has the performance that I like. Now, obviously my GTR is significantly faster than this. That's why we have the RS3 coming to replace this next year. But even though this is way slower than my car, it is a car you can still have fun with. And that's something that is really important to me. And I love how there are so many affordable cars out there that aren't crazy expensive, not even crazy fast, but are insanely fun. When I worked at a dealership, I remember getting in a Fiesta ST, a little tiny Ford. It was so much fun. You could toss that around and just have a blast in it. And this S3 is kind of like that. You can actually have fun, even if you're used to very fast cars. It's peppy, it's light on its toes, and it's a car that just can make you smile, and then you can easily tone it down and just do your day-to-day with it. So I have really been enjoying owning the S3. I love what it has to offer, and especially for the price point and the efficiency levels of the engine, I mean, it is just such an easy car to have, and it doesn't hurt the bank at all, and yet you get so much fun. The RS3, once that comes, that'll be fun to make the same video with, because now we're getting into big boy performance. So that will be very cool to see what that car has to offer in this same type of category of, ultimate enthusiast daily driver. But as far as the Audi S3 goes, I personally do think this is the best affordable daily you can get if you want fun factor. You could tone it down, maybe get a Golf R. I know they come with a manual. I don't know if those come with the DSG as well, but that might be a little bit cheaper feeling as far as the refinements, but it's still a good option. Of course, the SCI is a good option, but personally, I feel like this kind of is so well-rounded. It's right in the middle of the performance side and the luxury side to give you that perfect, bang for the buck, well-rounded daily. And I really liked it. Next month or so, we'll be tuning this, adding some power, and I'll revisit this topic now that it'll be tuned, of course. But at least in the stock form with just the basic exhaust and intake, really can't go wrong with it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment down below, what do you guys think? What is the best daily driver that is still a fun car? I'd love to hear other options. To me, I mean, this is the car that I kind of wanted a long time ago as well. I've always wanted one of these, so I'm glad I now have one. And it really has hit the nail on the head for what we've been looking for in this segment. But comment below, what do you guys think? If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video.